When you think of scrambled eggs, you probably picture a quick, comforting breakfast, golden and fluffy, ready in mere minutes. But what if I told you that with one simple addition, you could transform this humble dish into something extraordinary? A creamy, protein-packed masterpiece that will completely change the way you think about breakfast? Welcome to the world of cottage cheese scrambled eggs. A recipe so delicious and satisfying, it just might blow your mind. Let's begin with the basics. Scrambled eggs are beloved for their simplicity, but they often fall into predictable patterns, sometimes too dry, sometimes too bland, sometimes rubbery. The secret to elevating this classic lies in a surprising ingredient: cottage cheese. It's not just an afterthought or a garnish, but a central element that will make your eggs creamier, fluffier, and even more nutritious. Why cottage cheese, you might wonder? Cottage cheese is high in protein and low in fat, making it the perfect addition to any meal. But more than that, its mild flavor and creamy texture melt seamlessly into eggs, adding a luxurious richness without overpowering their delicate taste. Plus, it brings a subtle tang and moisture, ensuring your scramble is never dry or boring. To make the ultimate cottage cheese scrambled eggs, start by gathering your ingredients. You'll need large eggs, fresh if possible, a generous scoop of cottage cheese, a touch of salt and pepper, and a knob of butter for cooking. If you're feeling adventurous, consider adding fresh herbs, chives, or a sprinkle of your favorite cheese for extra flavor. Begin by cracking the eggs into a medium-sized bowl. For a hearty breakfast, 3 eggs per person is a good rule of thumb. Whisk them thoroughly until the yolks and whites are completely combined and the mixture is slightly frothy. This step is crucial for achieving that light, airy texture we're after. Next comes the star of the show, the cottage cheese. For every 3 eggs, add about a quarter cup of cottage cheese. You can use full fat or low fat, depending on your preference, but full fat will give you the creamiest result. Gently fold the cottage cheese into the eggs, being careful not to break up all the curds. You want some texture to remain, as the curds will melt into the eggs during cooking, creating pockets of creaminess. Season the mixture with a pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper. Remember, cottage cheese can be a bit salty, so taste and adjust as needed. If you're adding herbs, now's the time to stir them in. Fresh chives, parsley, or dill work beautifully, lending a burst of color and a hint of freshness. Set a non-stick skillet over medium-low heat and add a pat of butter, allowing it to melt and coat the pan. The key to perfect scrambled eggs is patience. Low and slow is the way to go. Pour the egg and cottage cheese mixture into the skillet. Let it sit undisturbed for a few seconds, then gently stir with a spatula, pushing the eggs from the edges toward the center. The curds will begin to form, and you'll notice pockets of cottage cheese blending with the eggs, creating a luscious, marbled texture. Continue to cook, stirring gently, until the eggs are just set, but still slightly glossy. Residual heat will finish cooking them, so don't be tempted to leave them on the stove too long. At this stage, if you'd like a little extra decadence, sprinkle a handful of shredded cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, or Gouda, over the top and fold it in. The cheese will melt into the eggs, making them even richer. When your scrambled eggs are perfectly cooked, slide them onto a warm plate. The result? Fluffy, creamy eggs with a subtle tang and an unparalleled silkiness. The cottage cheese has melted into the eggs, creating a light, cloud-like texture that's utterly irresistible. But the experience doesn't end there. These scrambled eggs are endlessly customizable. For a burst of freshness, top them with diced tomatoes, avocado slices, or microgreens. If you crave a bit of crunch, a sprinkle of toasted seeds or nuts adds an unexpected twist. Or, for a savory treat, serve them alongside smoked salmon, crispy bacon, or sautéed mushrooms. Nutritionally, cottage cheese scrambled eggs are a powerhouse. Eggs are already an excellent source of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins like B12 and D. By adding cottage cheese, you're boosting the protein content even further, making this dish ideal for those who want a hearty, satisfying breakfast that fuels you for hours. The calcium and probiotics in cottage cheese also support bone health and digestion, making this meal as good for your body as it is for your taste buds. Let's talk about texture. Traditional scrambled eggs can sometimes be dry or rubbery if overcooked. With cottage cheese, the eggs stay moist and tender, thanks to the extra moisture and fat. The small curds of cottage cheese melt into the eggs, creating a subtle, creamy bite in every forkful. It's a texture that's both comforting and luxurious, a far cry from the ordinary. And what about flavor? Cottage cheese brings a gentle tanginess to the eggs, enhancing their natural richness without overpowering them. The combination is delicate and balanced, allowing the egg's flavor to shine, while the cottage cheese works its magic in the background. Add-ins like chives, dill, or even a pinch of smoked paprika can elevate the dish further, creating layers of flavor that keep every bite interesting. This recipe is also incredibly versatile. In a rush, you can whip up cottage cheese scrambled eggs in under 10 minutes. Feeding a crowd? Simply scale up the ingredients and cook in batches. Watching your calories? Use low-fat cottage cheese and skip the extra cheese on top. Need more sustenance? Serve the eggs on whole grain toast, in a wrap, or even over a bed of sautéed spinach for a nutrient-packed meal. For those who are skeptical about cottage cheese, this recipe is the perfect introduction. Its mild flavor melts into the eggs, leaving behind only the benefits of creaminess and nutrition. Even if you're not a regular cottage cheese fan, you might find yourself converted after just one bite. Let's not forget the convenience factor. Cottage cheese is a staple in many refrigerators, and eggs are almost always on hand. With just a few ingredients and minimal prep, you can create a breakfast, or lunch, or dinner that feels special and indulgent even on the busiest days. If you're looking to deepen the flavor even more, try experimenting with additional ingredients. A pinch of garlic powder or onion powder adds a savory depth. A dash of hot sauce or a sprinkle of chili flakes introduces gentle heat. Or, for a Mediterranean twist, add crumbled feta and a handful of chopped spinach. For meal preppers and busy families, cottage cheese scrambled eggs are a game changer. You can prepare the egg and cottage cheese mixture ahead of time, then cook it fresh in the morning for a hot, nutritious start to your day. Leftovers reheat beautifully, making this recipe as practical as it is delicious. And if you're serving guests, cottage cheese scrambled eggs make an impressive yet effortless brunch centerpiece. Pair with fresh fruit, crusty bread, and a pot of coffee for a meal that's sure to earn rave reviews. In summary, cottage cheese scrambled eggs are a revelation. With just one extra ingredient, you elevate a basic dish into something extraordinary, fluffy, creamy, and bursting with flavor and nutrition. It's a simple change that delivers big results, turning everyday eggs into a culinary delight you'll crave again and again. So the next time you reach for your frying pan, remember this recipe. Crack your eggs, add a scoop of cottage cheese, and prepare to experience scrambled eggs like never before. Whether you're fueling up for a busy day, treating yourself to a leisurely brunch, or simply seeking comfort in a bowl, cottage cheese scrambled eggs promise to satisfy, surprise, and yes, blow your mind.